Will these, Mataji, can I ask a doubt?
Sure.
Will this PDF be this slides be sent in the group?
The PDF files, we will have to ask, I will ask Mataji, Devika Mataji, and I'll let you know.
Okay, Mataji, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So there was a turning point from 31 to 42. Now we'll see about section A, 1.1 to 27, 1 to 13. Now we know what is happening, right? Sanjaya is informing King Dhritarashtra of what Duryodhana is doing in the field. He is appraising the army. He's a big, nice politician also. And Bhishma and Kuru army, then they are blowing their conch shells. And that gives Duryodhana joy. Okay, I have got a very strong army at my side. 14 to 19 on the other side, Krishna, Arjuna, and other Pandavas, they're all blowing their conch shells. And it just shatters the heart of Duryodhana. It is so loud and full of confidence. And then 20 to 27, we'll see that Arjuna is requesting Krishna to draw his chariot in the middle to observe both the sides of the armies. He just wants to see what is happening. He wants to take us to the middle. Krishna in the middle of the Kurukshetra. Text 1. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka of pandavaschaiva himakurvata Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, "O Sanjaya, after my sons and sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do?" So what are we seeing over here? Three things. One is the place of the war. Second is Pandavas and Kauravas. And third, Sanjaya. Three things we can observe, right? So what is the place? It's a dharma kshetra. So where religious rituals are performed, right? It is very, very significant because Krishna is present on the side of Arjuna in this kshetra. Dhritarashtra. Who is Dhritarashtra? He is Kaurava's father. And he is very, very doubtful. And he is trying to understand what is going to happen. Then there is another character, Sanjaya. Who is Sanjaya? He is the son of charioteer, Gavalgana. And he is Dhritarashtra's advisor. And is also his charioteer as well. And he's a disciple of sage Vedavyasa, and he's very, very immensely devoted to King Dhritarashtra. So he's there. And Sanjaya, because he's a disciple of Vedavyasa, by the mercy of Vedavyasa, he has been able to envision the battle of Kurukshetra. And even while he was sitting in the room of Dhritarashtra, right? So when we go to see a 3D movie, we wear 3D glasses. Similarly, he could sit in one place and watch what is happening. It is all because of the vision provided by Vedavyas Maharishi. And as you see a paddy field, unnecessary plants are there and it is pulled out. The weeds are pulled out. Otherwise, the plants cannot grow well, even in a paddy field, right? So similarly, it is expected from the very beginning that wherever Krishna is there, Krishna is present over there, right? So unwanted plants like Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana and others who are his allies will be definitely wiped out because they are very, what did they do? They are not they are being very irreligious. And then it will be replaced by religious persons headed by Yudhishthira. That is what Krishna is going to establish. And the significance here is Dharma Kshetra and Kurukshetra, right? Because it is very, very important that it is a Dharma Kshetra. That is very important in this shloka. And this is the only shloka in 700 shlokas that Dhritarashtra spoke. So Dhritarashtra is questioned to Sanjaya, what did they do? And Dhritarashtra has very fears and concerns about the Kshetra, the Dharma Kshetra, because it is the religious rituals have been performed. So he's a little bit worried. So Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, was present. That's the place of worship. Pandavas are righteous and that is in their favor. And Bhishma, Drona, they are all saintly, but natural tendency not to fight, right? Battle may not take place because it's such a Dharma Kshetra. And Dhritarashtra is distinguishing Pandavas from Kurus. Mamaka of Pandavas Chaiva. Mamaka means my, Pandava, Pandu's, he has already separated both of them. And the analogy about paddy field has been given, right? So he is very, very partial to his own sons. He refers to only his sons as Kurus. He doesn't want to say the whole dynasty is Kuru. No, he will say they are Pandavas. So he's already separated them, right? Kurukshetra is a very sacred place of pilgrimage. It's a holy place. So that also is worrying him inside. Pandavas are very virtuous. That is worrying him inside. So he's very fearful about many, many things. So let's see what happens. The key points over here is how to understand Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So how to study? According to Srila Prabhupada, he says that you have to study very carefully because we will get information from here that will help us in our spiritual progress. And how to study this? With the help of association of devotees. And how else? In the line of disciplic succession, like Bhagavad Gita as it is, right? So complete clear understanding of Bhagavad Gita has been given. And Arjuna has heard Gita directly from the Lord. That is why this is very, very important. And what is the benefit of studying? Well, if you study all this, it is not only all the Vedas all in one. Bhagavad Gita is all in one. It contains all that is contained in other scriptures and also what is not found in others. So this is very important. And the key point is Dhritarashtra's fears and concerns regarding Dharmakshetra, and Dhritarashtra is distinguishing between Pandavas and Kauravas. So let's see Shloka 2. Sanjaya Uvacha Drishtva tu Pandavanekam Vyudham Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. Now, Duryodhana's actions are described here. He is not only diplomatic, but he has inner fear also. Duryodhana has been mentioned as the king. He's going on to the commander on. He is very, very serious about the situation. He is very, very fit to be a politician also here because he is addressing like that. Let's see what he addresses. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupadaputrena Tavashishyena Dhimata. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Pashyaitam means look. Panduputranam, look at them, of the sons of Pandu. Acharya, O teacher, Mahatim Chamum, just see the great military force of theirs. Vyudham Drupadaputrena, Drupada's son. Who is Drupada's son, by the way? Anyone? You have done level 1 now, you should be knowing.
Drishtadyumna Mataji?
Yes, Drishtadyumna, yes. So he says, Vyudham Drupadaputrena, look at what Drupadaputrena has done, the arrangement. Tavashishyena Dhimata, he's your disciple, such intelligent disciple. He's kind of being very sarcastic here. Whatever he did was very wrong. He is insulting his guru, right? What was his name of the guru?
Dronacharya.
Dronacharya. So in spiritual and whenever you're battlefield, you are not supposed to, you're supposed to take blessings of your guru, not insult him, right? Whenever you go to any college, university, job, first day, what do? You take Ashirwad, you take blessings of your parents. So Arjuna did the same thing. He took blessings from his guru, but not Duryodhan. Duryodhan is like, look at his face, the way he's looking. He's completely arrogant, full of pride, right? So that's not what we are supposed to do. So what do we understand from verse 2? Duryodhana approaches Dronacharya after assessing military formation of the Pandavas. Duryodhana addresses as king to encourage King Dhritarashtra. And then Duryodhana is the king. Still, he has to approach commander-in-chief for advice because he cannot take decisions, right? He has to go to commander-in-chief. Then Duryodhana is an expert politician or diplomat. Why? He is going and he is referring son of Drupada as enemy. He is his enemy, right? He is referring to him. He is being very sarcastic over here. By calling Drishtadyumna son of Drupada his enemy, he is provoking Dronacharya. He is just see Drupada Putrena. Drishtadyumna was trained by Dronacharya, right? So he is kind of pointing out, see the result of the training. You have made a mistake by training him. Drishtadyumna is always a disciple of Dronacharya. So being guru is always an expert, right? Similarly, Pandavas also been trained by Dronacharya. So he should not be lenient in fighting, says Duryodhana. Duryodhana is asking Dronacharya to look at how skillfully has been arranged. Drishtadyumna has arranged. So Drishtadyumna is King Drupad's son. He was also Dronacharya's pupil or a disciple. Duryodhana, he is trying to remind the teacher kind of what a mistake he made in the past by training him. Many years back, Dronacharya, along with Pandavas, had defeated King Drupad in a battle. And you know what? They took away half the kingdom. And to avenge the defeat, what did Drupad do? He performed a sacrifice. He said, I want a son now. And Drishtadyumna was born out of that sacrificial fire. And with a boon that he will kill Dronacharya in the future. So even though Dronacharya was aware when he was approached for Drishtadyumna's military training, he humbly accepted. He said, whatever will happen, happen, it's fine. And he gave him all the knowledge. That is what great guru and great person is, right? Unlike Kamsa, as soon as he came to know that the eighth child of my sister is going to kill me, he wanted to kill his sister only. So it's Duryodhana was under the impression, okay, Pandavas will come with 10, 15 people. We have great soldiers here, great Maharathis, Bhishma and Dronacharya. Will just kill them, will defeat them, everything will be fine. But as soon as he saw the huge army, he was really scared. And he was reminding Dronacharya that even though Drishtadyumna was his disciple, he was also Drupad's son. So with a boon to kill him. So he should be aware of that. So he was an expert politician and diplomat. What key points we learn? Duryodhana is referring Drishtadyumna as son of Drupada, and Dhritarashtra is distinguishing again Pandavas from Kauravas. These are the key points. Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata, Drupada. So Atra means here. Shura. Shur means what? Shurveer we say in Hindi also. Heroes. Maheshwasa, mighty bowmen. Like who? Bhima, Arjuna, Samayudhi. Like equal to Bhima and Arjuna. Who are these? Yuyudhana, Virata, Drupada. They are all Maharathis, he's saying. So Maheshwasa means what? All these great warriors, they are, they carry strong bows, and they cannot be broken by the enemy. That is what Maheshwasa means. Yuyudhana refers to Satyaki. And then he was from Vrishni clan, which clan even Krishna belonged to. Virata, father-in-law of Abhimanyu. Drupada, father-in-law of Pandavas. Due to all the anxiety, the Pandava army seemed very, very big and large to Duryodhana. He was really anxious now after seeing this. He had never expected also that they will come up with such army of warriors with so much of military powers, and they looked so formidable in the battle. Oh my God, he says. He is feeling so scared now inside, but he's not showing. He's trying to be a very diplomat and very big politician here. So he is mentioning great heroes equal to Bhima and Arjuna, Why is he comparing to Bhima and Arjuna? Because he knew the strength of Bhima and Arjuna. And why is he mentioning other heroes? Because he came to understand that, oh my God, these people are also great stumbling blocks on the path of victory. And each and every one, Yuyudhano, Viratashta, Drupadashta, they are all Maharathis. They're as formidable as Bhima and Arjuna. So he's trying to see who all have come for the fight, right? Drishtaketu Chekitanaha Kashirajashcha Viryavan Purujit Kuntibhojashcha Shevyashcha Narapungavaha. They're also great, heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashi Raja, Purujit, Kuntibhoja, Sebya. He's actually counting all these people. Purujit, Kuntibhoja. Purujit and Kuntibhoja, they are brothers of Kunti. They have come. His maternal uncles, right, of Pandavas. Then Sebya. Sebya is a great best of Narapungava means Nara, human, man. Pungava, best, is the best of man. Oh my God. Sebya, he's saying, is recognizing him as powerful, heroic warriors, these people. Yudha Manyushcha Vikranta Uttamojashcha Viryavan Saubhadro Draupayadeyashcha Sarva Evarat Maharatha. A mighty Yudha Manyu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra, sons of Draupadi. He is again telling that they are all Yudha Manyushcha, means who Yudha Manyu, and Vikranta, the mighty. Uttamoja. Uttamoja means what? He is a Viryavan. He is very powerful. Saubhadra. Saubhadra means sons of Saubhadra. And Draupadeyashcha means sons of Draupadi. Sarva Eva. Each and every one certainly are Maharathas, Maharathi, chariot fighters, great chariot fighters, right? So Yudhamanyushcha and Uttamoja, who are they? Prince of Panchala kingdom. Saubhadra, anyway, you know, Abhimanyu, son of Subhadra. And Draupadeshcha, Pandava, Draupadi's sons. All and everyone are Maharathis, he says. So who is a Maharathi? Who can fight 10,000 bowmen single-handedly? They can fight. They are called Maharathis. So he's counting so many Maharathis are there. He is getting overwhelmed now. So you can see he's counting everyone. All of them are fighting for rights, not for material gains. And they are all very strong. This is Pandava's army. And all are Maharathis. So he's just like, because if you are dharmic, then you definitely have the chance of winning, right? So dharma is on their side. Bhima, Arjun, Kashiraja, Yudhamanyu, Drishtaketu, Purujit, Uttamaoja, Kuntibhoja, sons of Subhadra, sons of Draupadi, Sebya, Ekitana, all of these are Maharathis, is what Duryodhana is telling. Asmakam tu vishishtaye tani bodhatvijottama nayaka mama senyasya sangyarthatan bravimite. But for your information, O best of Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are specially qualified to lead my army force. He's saying he is now going to brag about his army. Asmakam, our Vishishta, our powerful. Nibodha means just take note of, I'm telling you. Dvijottama means best of Brahmanas. He's praising Dronachari. He wants to, push up Dronachari also a little bit. Our Nayakas, Nayak, Nayak means captain. So he's saying, let's see our captains, Sanyasya, look at our soldiers. Just see everybody. Bravamite, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to speak to you. I'm going to tell you. So Dronacharya, he was a teacher, right? He was not a warrior. He is not a Kshatriya. He was a Brahmana, but he was a teacher of military science. So he had the qualification to fight as well. But he was on the battlefield. He was one of the commanders in Kauravas army. And Duryodhana even doubted. Hare Krishna.
Vandita poyale.
Punashri Mataji, is there anything you want to say? So impudent Duryodhana even doubted the loyalty of his own preceptor. He was very doubtful whether they will, Bhishma and Duryodhana will, because they were favoring Pandavas. They really loved Pandavas. That's why. And very cunning, Duryodhana is very cunning. He's purposefully addressing his teacher as Dvija Uttama, means he's best among Brahmanas, trying to, flatter him. But in a way, in another way, is belittling the Dronacharya also. How? That if he did not display his valor in the battle, he will be considered a lowly Brahmana. Now I have told you best of Brahmanas, but if you won't fight well, then you will be considered lowly Brahman. So who was only interested in, eating and lavish lifestyle in King's palace. He's trying to do both ways, very cunning that way. Then to cover up his vicious words and all that, and to boost up his teacher and his morale, he's naming all the great generals from Kaurava's side. So that is how cunning he is. Bhavan Bhishmashta Karnashta Kripashta Samatinjayaha Ashwathama Vikarnashta Somadattastataivacha. Very great personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, son of Somadatta, Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in battle. So he's mentioning all the exceptional heroes in the battle. All of them who are ever victorious. Vikarna, who is Vikarna? He's the brother of Duryodhana. Ashwathama, son of Dronacharya. Somaditya Bhurishrava is the son of Bahiklas. Bahilikas. Bahilikas means, they were, Karna is the half brother of Arjuna. He was born out of Kunti, right? Before marriage to King Pandu. Then Kripacharya, twin sister, married Dronacharya, right? Then this Bahalika is also said Vahalika. He was the king of Bahalika kingdom. He was elder brother of Shantanu. Shantanu was the king of Hastinapur and the uncle of Bhishma. He was the oldest warrior in the fight of Kurukshetra. So, of course, Bhishma was there, but uncle of Bhishma he was. Anye cha bahava shura madarte tekta jivitaha nana shastra praharanaha sarve yuddha visharadaha. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science. So he's telling, Anye, others, in great numbers, these heroes have come for my sake. Tekta Jivita is a very important word here. They are prepared to lay down their life for me. Nana Shastra means many, many weapons they are equipped with. Yuddha Visharada, they are experienced in Yuddha. So Srila Prabhupada is very nicely, he explains that, as far as others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Salya, they're all determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhan's sake. In other words, it's already concluded that all of them will die in battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of sinful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was, anyway, he was always under that illusion, I am going to win. He was very confident of its victory because he's telling, look at the strength of my army and my friends. They're all ready to lay down the lives for me. Lay down the lives for me, they will die. What will happen then? So in 7 to 9 verse, now we are seeing Duryodhana's side of army. How many Maharathis were there? But there is a difference. They are fighting for material cause. That is why they're weak. Most of them are also favoring Pandavas, like Bhishma and Dronacharya, heart in heart, they are favoring Pandavas, right? So they are ready to lay down their lives. So the fate of their lives are already decided. So Dronacharya, Ashwathama, Bhishma, Vikarna, Karna, all these, they are great Maharathis, but they are ready to lay down their lives. And Duryodhana has been mentioning about this. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam Bhishma bhirakshitam paryaptam tudame tesham balam bhima bhirakshitam. Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited. Aparyaptam, immeasurable. Asmakam, our balam is, it is immeasurable. He is praising. Why it is immeasurable? Because Bhishma bhirakshitam. Bhishma is our, one who is going to be on our side and going to protect us. Then he says paryaptam, limited. Pridame tesham balam bhima bhirakshitam. The other side, it's limited. Why? Because Bhima is on the other side. That is why he's trying to tell, our commander-in-chief is Bhishma. And other than that, he is not only exceptional warrior Bhishma, he has got a boon also that he can choose the time of death. This means he's practically invincible. Nobody can beat him. And Duryodhana is feeling that under Bhishma's command, nobody can defeat them. And then whereas he is saying Pandava's side, Bhima is there. But when you're comparing Bhima with Bhishma, no. Bhima doesn't stand a chance. But what do you call this? Vinashakale viprita buddhi. Proverb goes, right? When the end is drawing near, egoistic people will indulge in vain glory. Is glorifying himself, self-glorifying, dabba bacha raha hai. Instead of being humble and evaluating the situation, right? That's the irony of life. And that is reflected in Duryodhana's bragging statement over here. And he's saying, my army strength is the best. Bhishma is, having unlimited strength. But anyway, both Kauravas and Pandavas were Bhishma's grandchildren. And he's the oldest living member of Kuru family. And he was concerned about their welfare. He was Okay, he was compassionate towards Pandavas, but he was bound by ethical commitment towards the throne of Hastinapur, right? So half-heartedly, he was he was siding Kaurava's army. He was also aware that this is Dharma Kshetra, holy war. So great warriors and Supreme Lord Krishna was present. He was very much aware. And if Krishna is with Pandavas, Dharma was on their side. And if Dharma was on their side, there is no power in the world that can defeat them, right? So he had taken promise, he had vowed that he will take care of the kingdom of Hastinapur. So he had to fulfill his responsibility towards them. So Bhishma is leading the Kaurava army now, even though he knows of their wrongdoing. That's the best part. He knows that Kauravas have done wrong. This decision shows his strength of character and his personality. अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागमवस्थिताः भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि. All of you must now give full support to grandfather Bhishma as you stand at their respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. So what is he saying? Ayaneshu, strategic points. Sarveshu, everywhere. Yatha bhagam, differently it has been arranged, okay? It's situated. Bhishma, grandfather Bhishma, Abhirakshantu means you have to give support. Rakshantu, you have to make sure that he is surrounded by all of you. He is the main commander in chief, right? He's urging all the Kaurava generals, make sure that you're an all around grandfather Bhishma. Bhishma is the main commander in chief, and he has got full faith in Bhishma's war capacity. And he is trying to say Bhishma's reliable, and he says that's an advantage because he wants Bhishma to finish the war as soon as possible. So he's praising Bhishma. He's confident of full support of Bhishma and Dronacharya. Why? Because he knows they did not protect Draupadi when she was insulted. So although Bhishma and Dronacharya had affection for Pandavas, he hoped that they will give up all affection now. And he's asking everyone to support Bhishma over here. Bhishma anyway is a great hero. He's an old man, but right. So there might be chances that the enemy can attack him. So he was making sure that everybody protected him. Tasya sanjanayan harsham kuru vruddha pitamaha simhanadam vinadyochaihi shankham dadmau pratapavan. Anybody wants to volunteer to read?
Mataji, shall I?
Yeah, please.
Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy.
So what did Bhishma do? Tasya, his, Sanjanayan, increasing Harsham, cheerfulness. Kuru Vruddha. Kuru means Kuru dynasty. Vruddha means old. So who is Kuru Vruddha? Bhishma. So Pitamaha, he is the Pitamaha, he is the grandfather. Simhanadam, roaring like a lion. Vinadyoche, vibrating. Shankham, the conch. Dadmau, he is making that blue, he is making that sound. Pratapavan, the valiant. So he is making that sound. He is aware, right, that Duryodhana had no chance of winning. Bhishma knew somewhere inside, heart in heart, because he knows Krishna is on the other side. But he also understood that Duryodhana is very much anxious. So he had to cheer him up, right? He's the commander in chief. So in olden days, they would blow the conch shell in the battlefield to signal that we are going to start the war. So this also conveyed to Duryodhana that Bhishma is ready to lead the Kaurava army and he would fight dutifully. So this is 11 to 12 verse. Duryodhana is requesting his army to support Bhishma, right? So why Sanjaya described Duryodhana's action first? Because Dhritarashtra was blind from birth, right? So he was given spiritual vision so that he could tell him that what his sons were doing as in the field. And Dhritarashtra at the same time was very much afraid that, oh my God, Dharma Kshetra, what would happen to him, right? And Bhishma is very old, he needs support and protection. Duryodhana is a diplomat, Duryodhana is confident of both their support. Bhishma, out of compassion and to cheer Duryodhana, is blowing the conch shell very loudly. Duryodhana's defeat is certain. Why? Because Krishna is on the other side. And Bhishma is fighting because it's his duty to fight, right? So this is what he has been hearing. Now we go to 13 to 20. This is ominous results, right? Not very good results. We'll see. Tata shankashcha bheryashcha panavanaka gomukha sahasevabhya hanyanta sashabdastu malo bhavat. Yes, please.
After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous.
Yeah, tata, thereafter, shankashcha, conch shells, bheryashcha, large drums, panavana, panavanaka gomukha means that small drums, kettle drums, and horns. Sahasevabhya hanyanta means what? All of a sudden, they were certainly, all of them sounded together. So you can imagine how loud it must have become. It was very, very loud. Uproar, great loud sound was being made. Tata shwetairharai yukte mahati syandane stitau madhava pandavaschaiva divyo shankau pradhatmatuhu.
Translation. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells.
Tata means thereafter. Shwet means white. Shwet, high means horses. Yukte, they're holding the horses, right? Mahati means in great. Syandane stitau means great chariot. They were situated in great chariot. Madhava is Krishna. So Madhav means what? Husband of goddess of fortune. Pandavaschaiva means Arjuna, the son of Pandu. Divyau Shankau Pradhatmatu. So what did they do? They took out their conch shells. Shank means conch shells. And Divya, transcendental conch shells. Pradhatmatu, and they sounded it. So when they did it from their side, Pandavas, they were sitting in the chariot, nice chariot. Lord Krishna and Arjuna both blew conch shells, and it ignited lot of enthusiasm among Pandavas. And Sanjay has addressed Krishna as Madhava, you can see. Ma means goddess Lakshmi, and Dhav means husband. So he is the husband of goddess Lakshmi. And wherever Sri Krishna will be there, Lakshmi will definitely be there. Prosperity will be there. So everybody was very, very excited over that side. And all the sons of King Pandu, and they were all over there, very, very excited, and they were sounding the conch shells very confidently. So this time, Duryodhana's heart will get shattered. Panchajanyam Hrishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Poundram Dadmau Mahashankam Bhimakarma Vrukodaraha.
Translation. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya, Arjuna blew his conch shell called Devadatta, and Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Poundra.
Panchajanyam. So he is here in this verse, Krishna has been addressed as Rishikesha. Anybody knows what is Rishikesha? No?
Controller of senses?
Yeah, he is the master of senses. Very nice. So Rishikesha means he is master of senses. So Sri Krishna, he is the supreme master of everybody's minds and senses. Throughout his wonderful pastimes, he displayed complete control over his mind and senses. So Panchajanyam is the name of the conch shell of Rishikesha, that is Krishna. Dhananjaya means Arjuna. And what is he blowing? His conch shell name is Devadattam. Poundram Dadmau Mahashankam. Bhima Karma Vrukodara. Bhima's name, another name is Vrukodara. And he is having Poundram, his conch shell. So his names of all the conch shells over here. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha Nakula Sahadevascha Sukoshamani Pushpakau Kashyascha Parameshwasaha Shikhandi cha Maharatha Dushtadyumno Viratashcha Satyakishcha Parajitaha Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvashah Prithivipate Saubhadrashcha Mahabahu Shankam Dadmo Pruthak Pruthak.
King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadeva blew their Sughosha and Manipushpaka. That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikandi, Drishtadyumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra and all others, blew their respective conch shells.
So till now we heard about Krishna, Arjuna, Bhima's conch shells. Now this is Ananta Vijaya is King Yudhishthira's conch shells name, and Nakula and Sahadev. Nakula's was Sughosha and Sahadev Manipushpaka. So they were all of them were trying to blow their respective conch shells. Great Maharathis. And Yudhishthira, being the eldest Pandava, is being referred to as king over here. Ananta Vijayam Raja. So he is the king. He has always been very graceful, very noble, even while he was living in the forest or whether he was living in the palace, wherever he was. That and he got this title. He performed Rajasiya Yajna. So he earned that name from all other kings in the world. And Sanjay informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully his talks. Sanjay, he told his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu. You deceived the sons of Pandu. Very tactfully, he will inform. And he said, that is what you have done, and this is not the right thing that you have done. Tactfully, he would say. And signs already clearly indicated that whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle. They could now start seeing the signs, ominous signs. So the whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra, right? This all happened because of him, because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. Had he discouraged his sons, this would not have happened. Okay, so what did we do till now? Verse 14, Krishna and Arjuna blowing transcendental conch shells. Victory is certain. Why? Krishna and Arjuna's conch shell is described as transcendental. Madhava, Krishna is the husband of goddess of fortune. Chariot has been given by Agni, capable of conquering all the three worlds, right? So 15 to 18, what did you see? Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima blowing transcendental conch shells. Krishna's conch shell is Panchajanya, Arjuna's Devadatta, Bhima's Paundra, Yudhishthira, Ananta Vijaya, Nakula, Sughosha, Sahadev, Manipushpaka, right? So we understand that wherever Krishna is, there is victory. So let's see different names of Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima. Can you please read this?
Krishna, all attractive. Rishikesh, master of the senses. Madhava, husband of the goddess of fortune.
Achyuta.
Achyuta, infallible one. Madhu Sudana, killer of demon named Madhu. Govinda, one who gives pleasure to the senses or cows. Vasudeva, son of Vasudeva. Devaki Nandana, son of Devaki. Yashoda Nandana, son of Yashoda. Partha Sarathi, charioteer of Partha, Arjun. Keshava, killer of demon Keshi. Janardana, maintainer of all the living entities or killer of all the living entities. Dhananjaya, Arjun, conqueror of wealth. Partha, son of Pritha, Kunti Devi. Gudakesha, one who conquers me. Vridodara, Bhima, voracious eater and performs
Herculean task.
Herculean tasks.
So these are the different names of Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima. Saghoshodhartarashtranam hridayani vyadarayat nabhashta prithivim chaiva tumalobhyanunadayan. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of sons of Dhritarashtra. So Saghosho, that vibration of Dhritarashtra's sons, the vibration caused a lot of shattering, Vyadarayat, Hridayani Vyadarayat. Their hearts got shattered completely. So Sanjay is nicely conveying it to Dhritarashtra, saying that tremendous sound, that various conch shells by Pandava army. Oh my God, that's shattering the hearts of your sons. Whereas he did not mention any such reactions from Pandavas when Kauravas were blowing the conch shells. So he did not say that. Kauravas here were fearful. Because the conscience was all pricking them for whatever crimes they had done, for whatever misdeeds they had done. They were relying solely on their physical strength to fight the war. There were no dharma on their side. But Pandavas, they were dharmic, and they were confident. They felt protected because Krishna was there to protect. So their victory was definite. अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धृतराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते.
Translation. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
So Sanjay is addressing Arjuna by another name. He's saying he's also saying that Kapidhwaja. Here Kapidhwaja also means what? Kapidhwaja means?
Arjuna?
No.
Flag
Sanjay
with the
is telling her to Arjuna, but he's telling about Kapidhwaja.
Kapidhwaja is flag with Hanuman's symbol.
Hanuman, yes. Kapidhwaja means Hanuman. He is talking about Arjuna and he's telling about Kapidhwaja. What does this denote? It denotes that mighty Hanuman is there on Arjuna's chariot. So battle is going to start. So it has to be understood that sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened now because of this conch shell sound also. And by this military force that they saw, they never thought like that. They thought 10-15 people will come. And now they could see Krishna there. So emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory. Because Hanuman, he cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle of Rama and Ravana. And Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now, both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. So Lord Krishna is Rama himself, right? And wherever Lord Rama is, eternal servitor Hanuman will be there. Then definitely goddess of fortune will be there. Arjuna had nothing to worry about. And above all, who is there? Rishikesha. Rishikesha is Lord of senses and he is Lord Krishna. He was personally present over there. He was ready to give him good counseling sessions to Arjuna now before the battle. And if there is such auspicious arrangement, then why not? It is victory is assured. So let's see what we learn. Verse 19, blowing became atrocious. It shattered the hearts of Dhritarashtra. Duryodhana's team also blew conch shell, but it did not shatter Pandava's heart, right? So taking shelter of Lord, nothing to fear then. Kaurava's heart shattered due to fear, and that was a sign of defeat. Then 20th shloka, we learned that Arjuna prepared to fight, and he asks Krishna to draw chariot between the two armies. We will see. Arjuna's flag on the chariot has emblem of Hanuman. That's a sign of victory. Also, Krishna is personally present as Rishikesha to direct his senses. So Arjuna's victory is assured. So we'll see what are the signs of Pandavas, victory for Pandavas. Krishna's personal presence, then goddess of fortune was there. Krishna was his personal charioteer, right? Then he is also Rishikesha who will control the senses. Then goddess of fortune, wherever Krishna will be, she will be there. And the venue is itself a very holy place. Hanumanji is on Arjuna's flag. Then there is a symbol of Vishnu, conch shell. And their conch shells are not normal conch shells, transcendental conch shells, Divya. And Bhishma's conch shell to pacify Duryodhana. Bhishma does that, but just to pacify Duryodhana. And Agni Deva's chariot has been given to Arjuna, so capable of conquering all directions. And shattering of hearts. Conch shell of Pandavas shattered Kaurava's heart. Kaurava's heart, Pandava's heart did not get shattered when they were blowing the conch shells, the Kauravas. Now we move on to 21 to 27. There is a lot of uncertainty in these scenes. Arjuna uvacha senayor ubhayor madhye ratham sthapaya mechyuta yavadeta niriksheham yodhukaman avasthitan kairmaya sahayodavyam asmin rana samudhyame.
Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those who are present here, who desire to fight, and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms.
Arjuna was a skilled warrior, and Hanuman is sitting on top of his magnificent chariot, more powerful now. So, moreover, like his devotion towards Krishna was such that Krishna himself agreed to become his charioteer. He himself offered. And now Arjuna was seated in the passenger seat and he was giving instructions to Sri Krishna. But he addresses Lord Krishna as Achyuta. Senayor madhye ratham sthapaya mechyuta achyuta. Achyuta means dependable one. And he requests him, can you please take the chariot in the middle of the battlefield? Right? So even in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is there. Aham bhakta pradhanyo ya swatantra iva dvija. Sadhur bir grasta hridayo bhaktair bhakta janapriya. Aham bhakta paradhino means I am under my bhaktas. Krishna is always under his bhaktas. Aham bhakta paradhino. I am below bhaktas means whatever bhaktas want, devotees want, I do for them. That is why he chose to be a charioteer also. So he can do anything for his devotees. Just he wants us to become the devotee. That is the beauty of God's bond with his devotees. He becomes enslaved, completely enslaved by devotees' love. That is his love. Yotsimanavekseham ya etetra samagataha dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe yuddhe priyachikirshivah.
Translation. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra.
So Yotsamanana Veksheham, those who will be fighting, let me see. Veksheham, let me see. Who are they? Samagata means who have come. Dhartarashtra, Dhartarashtrasya. Dhartarashtrasya means his sons. Durbuddhe, his evil-minded sons. They have come to fight. Priyachikir Shiva. I just want to, see. They have come to, who all have come from his side to fight. He was fearless. He was a great warrior, Arjuna. He just wanted to see that he wanted to take over Hastinapur because it was rightfully theirs. He was entitled to at least half the kingdom. But wicked sons of Dhritarashtra, they didn't agree to share even a single pin, you can say. So now Arjun was ready for the battle. He was very eager to get back what was rightfully theirs. And he wanted to punish them for all their past evil stuff that they had done with them. So he requests Krishna to take the chariot to the middle of the battlefield to take a closer look at the Kaurava army. He wanted to see who has taken their side, who all have taken Kaurava's side, taking the side of injustice, and he wanted to punish them equally as they had chosen to be on the wrong side. None of them I will spare, no one. That's what Arjuna thinks. So in 21 to 23, we see that Arjuna calls Lord Achyuta, means infallible one, dependable also. Then Krishna, out of love, he took the position of charioteer. Krishna takes pleasure in serving his devotees. In any position, his supremacy can never be challenged, right? So Arjuna is a pure devotee. He doesn't want to fight, but anyway, he was bent upon because he didn't want, it's an unwanted war. So he wanted to see supporters who wanted to please evil-minded Duryodhana. He wanted to see who all are supporting Duryodhana. Let me see. Like analogy that I could say that birds of same flocks fly together. So who all evil-minded together, same type of mentality are with Kauravas. He wanted to see. So Achyuta, as I told you, infallible. It is addressed. Why? Because Lord never fails in affection for his devotees. He thus engages in the service of his friend out of causeless mercy. He does not hesitate to carry out the order of Arjuna as his charioteer, and still his supreme position is unchallenged. Sanjaya uvacha eva mukto hrishikeshaha gudakeshena bharata senayor ubhayor madhye sapayitva rathottamam.
Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties.
So here Dhritarashtra is being addressed as Bharata. So why Bharata? Because he is a descendant of King Bharata. That is why. So here in this verse, Arjuna is referred to as Gudakesha. Eva mukto Rishikeshaha Gudakeshena Bharata. Gudaka means sleep. And the one who conquers the sleep is Gudakesha. Keshas, conquer. So sleep can also, there will be two meanings. Like sleep can also be ignorance also. So he has conquered both. He has conquered sleep as well as ignorance. Why? Because because of his friendship with Krishna. He is a great devotee of Krishna, and he could not forget Krishna even for a moment. That is the level of his devotion for Krishna. Wish we can become like Arjuna. Waking or sleep, the devotee can never be free from thinking about Krishna, his forms, his qualities, his name, pastimes. So the devotee can conquer both what? The sleep as well as ignorance. Why? By simply thinking how? By simply thinking about Krishna constantly. So that is what is called Krishna consciousness. Nothing is what? Krishna consciousness, simply thinking about Krishna 24/7. And he has Rishikesha, or the director of the senses and mind of every living entity. Krishna could understand Arjuna's purpose in placing the chariot in the middle of the army. So he did.
Mataji, I have a doubt in the previous verse.
We can talk at the end of the class.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. भीष्मद्रोण प्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरुनिति.
In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, "Just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here."
So Lord Krishna is telling Partha. Partha means son of Pritha, another name for Kunti. Then he's pointing out at all the warriors in the Kurukshetra. He says, see, Bhishma is there, Drona is there, so many other kings of Kaurava's side is there. He's deliberately using the word Kuru. In a way, it is to remind Arjuna that, see, both Kauravas and Pandavas were all descendants of the great King Kuru only as such. They have been, kind of deciphered and said, no, you are Kuru, Kauravas, and you are Pandavas. So therefore, the enemy, he was so eager to kill. They're actually your family and friends. That's indirectly Krishna is telling. So he's omniscient Lord, all knowing. He was kind of sowing the seed of delusion in Arjuna's mind, Later he will eliminate it by counseling him. So now what did Krishna mean when he told Arjuna to behold the Kurus? He said, behold the Kurus. Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuru Niti. Just see, behold the Kurus. So did Arjuna want to stop there and not fight? Krishna never expected such things from the son of Pritha, right? So the mind, he's trying to see the mind, what Lord is predicting in a friendly, joking way. He's trying to just see what is going on in Arjuna's mind. Tatra pashyat stitan parthaha pitrinata pitamahan acharyan matulan bratran Putran Pautran Sakim Statha Shwashuran Suhrudaschaiva Senayorubayorapi.
There, Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, his grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his father-in-law and well-wishers.
It's very, very clear, straightforward sentence. Battlefield, he could see all his relatives, contemporaries, grandfather, teachers like Dronacharya, Kripacharya, maternal uncles like Salya, Madhuri's brother, Nakul's uncle, Shakuni, then brothers of Duryodhana and Duryodhana himself, sons, friends, well-wishers. He could see the armies which contained many of his friends also. So he was like, slowly mindset is changing. Tan samikshya kaunteyaha sarvan bandhun avasthitan Kripaya paraya vishtaha vishidanidam apravit.
When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus.
So when he said, no, just look at those Kurus, Krishna said, now those words had that effect on Arjuna now. He's looking at those armies and then his heart sank. He said, oh my God, Kurus, they're all my relatives now. How am I going to kill them? So the brave warrior who wanted to punish the Kauravas for their wrongdoing and their wickedness, few moments ago, suddenly became fearful now. He is now comprehending, oh my God, what kind of devastation is going to happen? What devastation this war is going to cause? All his bravery, his valor is started to diminish now. So Sanjay has called him Kaunteya over here because he's the son of Kunti, Kaunteya, Kunti. Tansamikshasa Kaunteya, right? Why is he denoting him as Kaunteya? Because Arjuna had become soft-hearted now, similar to his mother. Mother is soft-hearted, Kunti. So Kaunteya. However, Arjun was now very, very confused and his mind is filled with too many questions. So from 24 to 27, we see that Krishna draws chariot in the middle. He called him Gudakesha, conqueror of sleep and ignorance. Arjuna is always thinking of Krishna. Similar devotees, they are very much into total transcendental level, samadhi level. Lord Krishna, Rishikesha can understand the heart of Arjuna. Partha is the son of Pritha. And then Krishna agrees to be his charioteer. And Krishna jokingly said, just behold that with attention, look at those Kurus. Then he didn't expect him not to fight. Of course, he knew he was a valiant fighter. Arjuna could see so many relatives, well-wishers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, everybody. And he is completely overwhelmed with compassion. So this is what he takes. We need to take some time to reflect that we also all have, like Arjuna, we have our own battles, right? With our own body, we have battles. With our mind, we have battles. We are having battles in our relationships with others. We are having battles with the world in general. So there may be so many things going in our lives, right? So many responsibilities, so many things to do, so many people to see, and people say no time. But just like Arjuna was willing to take out time at such a climax situation also, right? To reflect, he's reflecting even in that situation. The lesson we are learning from all these verses so far is we also should take out some time from our busy life and start reflecting, what are we doing? All the time it is like hurry, worry, sorry. This is the story of our life. What is that? Hurry. In our youth, we are rushing around, trying to do and experience everything. No time for deeper stuff. Worry. Middle age comes. Responsibilities, obligations. It kinds of worries us. It burdens us. Then we have no time for God. Then sorry. Old age has come. We look back. We feel very bad. We are very much. We start lamenting, and so many missed opportunities were there. Why did I not take? Oh my God, this unfortunate body and mind we are left with. This is what our life is. So it can be changed. How? By Krishna consciousness. If it is hurry in a younger time, you can slow down. Realize what is your priority in life. What will bring real happiness in your life, rather than just running around following somebody's stereotypes of your own friends and peers and media. Worry, we can realize that Krishna is our best friend. He will look after things. Even if something is going wrong in your life, be confident that he has a master plan over there. And then sorry, you have to have the confidence that you have the ultimate wealth, right? You have achieved the highest thing. Everything else disappears into insignificance the moment you are in Krishna consciousness. So Arjuna also began by being unsure, but now he has become very bewildered. He's looking around at all the Kuru armies, his friends, relatives, everybody. His mind is reeling. He's thinking, what is the cost of this devastating war? What will be the cost? And his mind is filled with complete sorrow and grief. He's sitting down. He's casting aside his bow and arrow. Now, what will Arjuna tell Krishna? We'll see tomorrow at 7 p.m. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Vancha Kalpata Rupascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.